Friends, the story begins with Yelena, who is talking to herself, saying that she feels a deep loneliness inside, an emptiness. Yelena is on a mission assigned by Valentina. She has been working for Valentina for some time now. She's been sent to this lab to eliminate all the evidence present here. Here, Yelena meets a scientist. The scientist keeps repeating that Valentina doesn't know about him. But Yelena ignores everything he says and kills him. Then she goes downstairs and blows up the entire lab. The scene shifts to Bucky, who has now become a congressman. Bucky attends a committee meeting where Valentina is accused of unethical human experimentation and creating a superhuman in her lab. But Valentina denies all the allegations and says, "You can inspect everything if you want." Valentina leaves and tells her assistant, Mel, to destroy all the proof. She also assigns some new missions to her secret officers, but one of them, Yelena, is missing. The scene shifts to Alexei, aka Red Guardian. Yelena visits him. Alexei quickly cleans up and tries to show Yelena how busy he is with important work. Yelena tells him she wants to stop working for Valentina. She's tired of doing secret missions and hiding. Alexei agrees and says, "It's time you follow the path of your sister, Natasha." Yelena calls Valentina and asks for missions where her identity is public. Valentina agrees but says, "Just do one last task for me." Valentina tells her that someone is trying to steal from a secret warehouse, and Yelena needs to stop and eliminate the intruder. Yelena goes inside the warehouse and finds photos of some dead people. Suddenly, John Walker shows up and starts attacking her, saying, "You're my target." As they fight, Taskmaster makes an entrance. But this time, Taskmaster isn't here for Yelena, she's here for John Walker. Ghost arrives to kill Taskmaster. Ghost is Yelena's target. All four of them have been sent to kill each other. They all begin fighting. During the fight, Ghost kills Taskmaster. But there was another man with them, Bob. As Bob approaches a gate, it suddenly shuts. All four of them are now trapped. The scene shifts to a party thrown by Valentina. A congressman tells her, "We couldn't find a single piece of evidence against you. It's like someone wiped it all clean." Meanwhile, Bucky visits Mel, Valentina's assistant, trying to extract evidence against Valentina. He gives her his card and says, "If you ever have anything to share, please let me know." The story shifts back to the warehouse. Yelena realizes Valentina sent all four of them there to eliminate each other so that no one remains to testify against her. John Walker doesn't believe Yelena. He starts mocking Yelena and Ghost. He asks Bob who he is and how he ended up there. Bob says he doesn't remember. As Ghost tries to leave, a sound specifically designed to disable her activates. We cut back to Valentina's party. She activates a system that will burn everything inside the warehouse. The temperature starts rising rapidly. The team has only 1 minute. They quickly disable the sound barrier trapping Ghost, and she escapes. But it's unclear if she will come back to save the others or flee alone. Time passes and tension builds. Eventually, Ghost opens the door. But by then, Yelena has lost consciousness due to the blast. She drifts into a childhood memory, where she was manipulated into getting her friend killed. In this memory, Bob is also present. Seeing him wakes Yelena up. She had been touching Bob. We shift back to Valentina. Mel tells her that the group has started working together. Valentina doesn't believe it at first, saying, "Those antisocials could never cooperate." But then she sees Bob in the footage. She asks, "Who is he? And how did he get into my warehouse?" Unbeknownst to her, her driver, Alexei, overhears everything. Back at the warehouse, Bob still doesn't remember anything, except that experiments were being conducted on him. Walker gets angry at Bob, but Yelena is taking care of him. She tells the group, "If we want to get out of here, we need to work together." Bob says, "You go. I'll be fine on my own." Bob is clearly depressed. Yelena says, "I understand how you feel, Bob, but for now, come with us. Later, do whatever you want." The scene shifts to Bucky. Mel calls him and tells him to track her phone to get what he needs. Back at the warehouse, they need to climb up, but none of them can fly. John Walker tries to jump but falls back. Bob suggests an idea. The four of them form a circle, joining backs, and try to climb using their legs. It's not easy, they struggle a lot. Scene shift. Mel tells Valentina that Robert Bob was part of their Sentry project. Everyone thought he died, and that's why he was left to burn in the warehouse. His survival proves the tests worked. Meanwhile, Bob starts sneezing and tries to hold it in, causing everyone to fall. Somehow, they all survive. After falling, John Walker slips into a past trauma. He sits scrolling through social media posts about himself. He sees his child crying and starts arguing with his wife. Yelena snaps him out of it. They look outside and see that Valentina's entire army has arrived. Yelena and the others plan to escape. Valentina arrives and instructs her soldiers, "No matter what, that boy must not die." The soldiers go in while Walker waits for Yelena to turn off the lights. But due to a technical error, the lights don't turn off. Walker fights the soldiers alone. By the time Yelena arrives, everyone is dead and Walker has disappeared. Yelena fights the soldiers to protect Bob. Bob also starts firing back. Walker is still there. The three of them wear the soldiers' armor and escape. Ghost is waiting for them in a car outside. All four get in, but more soldiers block their path and demand IDs. Bob exits alone and draws everyone's attention. The soldiers shoot at him. Valentina tells them to stop. Taking advantage of the distraction, Yelena and the others escape. Despite being shot multiple times, Bob is still alive. He flies up into the sky. Yelena watches him. Bob crashes into a mountain. Valentina retrieves him the next morning and sends him to her new office. Meanwhile, Alexei arrives to pick up Yelena, Ghost, and John. He yells, "Yelena, my daughter, don't go into that vault." Alexei gets them out safely and tells them, "Wow, you guys are like a team of anti-heroes." Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was the name of Yelena's football team. Alexei says, "You could become a great superhero team with your faces on cereal boxes and toy figures." Suddenly, Valentina's men appear. Alexei's car won't go any faster. Ghost tries to confront them but is incapacitated by that annoying sound. Yelena finally steps out and attacks, but it's not powerful enough. Suddenly, Bucky appears and takes down Valentina's trucks. But Bucky's real target isn't Valentina, it's the others. Scene shifts to a congressman announcing to the media that they have found proof against Valentina. Valentina arrives at her newly purchased watchtower and goes to see Bob. She tells him about the Sentry Project and how special he's become. She manipulates Bob into thinking the others are not good people. She even knows about Bob's childhood trauma and grabs his hand. But the moment she does, Valentina herself is pulled into a traumatic memory where her father was killed in front of her. She steps away from Bob in fear. Her assistant is also terrified. Valentina tells her to prepare a kill switch for Bob, just in case. Scene shift to Bucky. He has all the others tied up. He tells them they must testify against Valentina, but they try to convince him that Bob is the real threat. Just then, Mel calls and confirms Bob is dangerous. Bucky believes them and releases them, saying, "Okay, then help me stop him." They all insist, "We're not heroes." Bucky says, "I used to be like you. I broke out of that cycle." Meanwhile, Valentina realizes her assistant has betrayed her but ignores it and focuses on Bob. She shows him his powers, making him believe in himself. She continues to manipulate him. Scene shifts to Bucky's team arriving at the watchtower in a truck. Without a plan, they start attacking Valentina's soldiers. Valentina says, "You could have just come through the front door. There was no need for a fight." Bucky and the others confront her. Valentina mocks them, calling them rejects, and says, "I gave you all a purpose." As Bucky approaches her, he can't touch her. And here comes Bob, now with blonde hair, introduced as Sentry. Valentina brags about him. She says the press will arrive soon to witness Sentry subduing these criminals. Valentina orders Sentry to kill them, but he refuses. Yelena tries to reason with him. Alexei attacks him. Everyone starts fighting Sentry, but he is too powerful. Even together, they can't hurt him. He bends Walker's shield and rips off Bucky's arm. The others run. Valentina says, "Finish the job." Sentry replies, "No need. They're no threat to me." He disobeys Valentina. She tries to press the kill switch, but Sentry stops her. He realizes she, too, was going to betray him. Valentina's assistant escapes with the kill switch. But it isn't over yet. Everyone below admits, "We are no match for him." Yelena, frustrated, yells at them and points out their flaws. She tells Alexei, "You were never there for me. When Natasha died, I needed you the most. You never came." Yelena feels alone and haunted by her dark past, especially the time she was forced to kill her friend. Alexei comforts her, saying, "You were once a sweet little girl. You wanted to be a football goalkeeper because you wanted to be someone people could rely on." Alexei says, "Even today, when I look at you, I see that same girl." Suddenly, something awakens in Bob. The void has taken over. He turns completely dark. Void can erase people in an instant. He crashes a helicopter and wreaks havoc in New York. The thunderbolts protect civilians without caring for their own lives. They even stop a huge boulder from falling and people applaud. Alexei saves a girl but is erased by Void. Void engulfs half of New York in darkness. Yelena walks toward it and voluntarily steps into the void. Alexei breaks down in tears. Inside the void, Yelena returns to her childhood memories. She tries to escape, but the scenes keep repeating. She tries to change things, but is knocked unconscious. She breaks through a wall and enters another room where her teacher is violently training her. She moves through more traumas. Outside, Ghost says, "We should go in too." Walker agrees, saying he also ended up in a strange place after touching Bob. Inside the void, Yelena meets Bob and asks why she keeps reliving her worst memories. Bob says it's not him, it's the void. Void is Bob's split personality that sometimes takes control. Yelena sees Bob's traumas, how his father used to beat him. She tells him, "Open your heart to me. Sharing will help ease your pain." She promises to get him out of there. Suddenly, the room attacks them. It's all Void's doing. But the rest of the team arrives and rescues them. Yelena asks Bob to take her to the darkest room. They go through dangerous areas and end up in the lab where the story began. Void is here and captures them all. Bob begs him to let them go, but Void insists, "They mean nothing to you." Bob starts fighting Void. Void beats him and says, "We will always be alone." Bob grows furious and attacks. But with each punch, Void grows stronger. Yelena gathers her strength and frees herself. She tells Bob to stop. Everyone joins Yelena to help pull Bob away from Void. They all teleport out, and the darkness begins to vanish. The people who had disappeared start returning. Bob remembers nothing of what happened while he was Void. Then they spot Valentina. Everyone says, "Let's finish her today." But this too was Valentina's plan. She faces the media and says, "I've been training this team for years. Meet our new Avengers." Everyone cheers. And just like that, we get a new Avengers team. Friends, there was also a post-credit scene. Our new Avengers spot a spaceship approaching Earth from deep space. To find out who's in that spaceship, we'll have to wait for the next movies. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned.